Hello student, I Professor Tambe Swapnali, Sanjeevani Junior College, Kopargaon, Department of Information Technology, going to conduct the lecture on Chapter 1st, Advanced Web Page Design. The presentation consists of the point that is Introduction to the HTML, new tag in HTML5, CSS in HTML5. So first of all we will see the introduction. We have been introduced the basic terminology related to the creation of web pages in the 11th study by using hypertext markup language, that is HTML, for the latest browser, and good result we have a new web page design version, and that is nothing but the HTML5 that support following browser like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Safari, Opera and the Apple. So this HTML5 consists of again a form, and when we are going to write anything into the form we need some input of the forms. So HTML5 is introduced a some new input type, and that input types are the input type is equal to color. So when we want to define the color picker, at that time we can use the input type is equal to color. Next, input type is equal to number. When we want to define a field for entering a number, at that time we can use the input type is equal to number. Next one, input type is equal to URL. When we want to define the field for entering a URL. Next, input type is equal to image. It define an image as a submit button. Next one is the input type is equal to date. It define the date picker with the year, month and the day. Next input is input type is equal to email. It define the field for email address. Next inputs are input type is equal to month. It define the month and year control in the form, that is year and the month format. Next one is the input type is equal to range. It defined a range control, default range, that is from 0 to 100. Next one is the input type is equal to date time local, means it defined the date picker that include the year, month, day and the time. Next one is input type is equal to time. It defined a control for entering a time. Next inputs is input type is equal to week. It defined the week and year control. Next input is input type is equal to search. It defined the text field for entering a search string like a site search or the Google search. Next input is input type is equal to file. So when we want to define the file, select field and browse button for the file upload. At that time we can use input type is equal to file. Next one is input type is equal to tell. It is used to define input field that control or that contain or should be telephone number. Next one, by using this input we can able to write a very good design of the form. So first of all we will imagine the output of the form. So for that purpose we will firstly imagine what we exactly want to do. So here what we want to insert into that particular form, we want the fields, that is name field, email, date of inception, office time, number of year completed, that is here we can take the range, that is 1 and 100. Next one is the office phone number, add your home page, and next one is the submit. So here we are taking the submit as one image. So for this button we are taking the image. So this type of output we require, and for this type of output what we want to do, we are writing the program for the form. So we can write the program by using our traditional method of the HTML. First of all we start to write our code by using the HTML, then head, title, write down the name, that is the form of HTML, or we can write form in HTML5. End the title, end the head. After ending the head we can start to write the main part of program, and that main part of program is written in the body part. So start your body, that is the body. In that body we use the form. So in that form what we want the this type of output. We want this type of output name field. So for this purpose we can write that is the name as a input type. For the name we use the text. Okay, and next one is that is the autocomplete, and for the next line we use the break line. After that, email. For the email, input type is equal to email. So these are the new inputs. For the input type is equal to email. Then the name, that is the email, break the line for the next. Then date of the inception, again input type is equal to date, name is your birthday. Then again break the line. Next one is the office time, input type is equal to time. By using the before whatever the inputs we have seen before that, we are going to use that input in this form, that is input type is equal to time. Assign the name, that is the user time, again break the line. Next one is the number of year completed, that should be range in 1 to 100. So for that purpose, input type is equal to number, we have to assign the minimum is equal to 1, maximum is equal to 100. Close the angular bracket here, break the line, go for the next line. Office phone number, input type is equal to tel, this is again a new type of input. Then name is a telephone number, we can assign the pattern over here. Okay, next one is the we have this field is required, so that purpose we are write here the required. Then break the line, and next one is the add your home page. So our home page basically consists of the input type is equal to URL. So in that your home page we can insert the URL, then break the line. Next one is the input type is equal to image. So for the submit button we are going to insert the image. So that is the input type is equal to image. The source of that image is submit button dot whatever the button or whatever the image we want to insert, we can write the path of, or we can write the source of that image over here. Next we have to write down the alternate, that is the click to submit form. Then after completion of this we should have to end the form, and how to end the form? By using the slash form. Next one is the close your body by using the slash body, then close your HTML. So when we run this program, then we will get the output like this. Okay, so this is the very normal procedure to write down the form. So in 11th study we already seen how to write down or how to develop a particular form. So by using this new input we can write or we can prepare a one form. Next is we will go for the CSS. So what is mean by the CSS? CSS is nothing but the cascaded style sheet. So what is the use of this CSS, or what is the basic structure of this CSS? The CSS structure basically consists of the selector, then selector is close between, after the selector there is a two curly bracket, and in that curly bracket one is the property, and each property is having the value. Suppose we will take the example, this is P as a selector. These two means this, in these two curly braces there is a color, and the color is equal to red. So color is nothing but the property of this P. If we consider the P as a paragraph, so for this paragraph what we want to assign? We want to assign the color for that paragraph is the red. So here we can call color as a property, and which color we want to assign? That is nothing but the value. So these are the format, or this is the syntax of the CSS. So after the property there is a colon, and after your value there is a semicolon. So this is the basic structure, or this is the syntax of CSS. So CSS is having the three type. First one is your internal CSS, then inline CSS, and the external CSS. So before that we will see the some capabilities of the CSS. CSS makes updating web page easy and quickly. You can also specify a style once and then apply it repeatedly in your document. Next one, CSS gives you control when placing object on the page exactly where you want them. Next capability is CSS allow you to position object in the 3 dimension. Next one, CSS allow you to create custom tag to achieve the specialized object. Next one, advantages of why we are using or why the use of this CSS. Advantages of using CSS, first is save the typing and development time. Next one means when we assign the CSS into the web pages, so ultimately when we apply it, our time will get a save, or typing means when we can apply one CSS to the many web pages, so ultimately our typing is save, or typing time is save. Then development time is also save. Then the download faster, because your browser will download only one file once. If we apply multiple CSS into the one web page, so if we download the one web page, there is a means no need to download the page again and again. Once you download one page, then your whole work will get a finished. Next one, you can add the multiple link tag in one document. This is the advantages of CSS. Next one is the CSS is having a some property like our input of the form. So the properties of the CSS are color. So change the color of the text by using the color property. Background color, we can set or to set the background color to your web page. Suppose we want to set the background color, for that purpose we can take as a body background color. Which color we want to use? Like color yellow. Next one is the font, then font style, then the text decoration, text align. So these are the some properties, and by using this use, value and the example, we can insert this property into the CSS, like text align, font family. Next properties are the font size, letter spacing, then padding, then border, background image and the margin left. Suppose you want to margin, or you want to assign the left or the right margin, you can use the H1 margin left into the this kind of pixels, then margin right this type of pixel. Suppose we will take the font size, you want to assign the font for the particular paragraph, so you can use the P as an paragraph. For this paragraph you can assign the font size, that is the 10 pixel. So in this way we can insert, or in this way we can use this property into the CSS. Next one is the first CSS is the inline style sheet. So it use the style attribute in the HTML start tag. Inline CSS is used to apply CSS on a single line or the element. So why it is called as the inline? Because of we can apply this inline CSS for the single line or the single element. When we want to apply for the single line, we use the inline CSS. So the syntax for this inline CSS is P style is equal to color blue. So this P is a paragraph. So you can take here H. Suppose you want to assign the for the heading, H style is equal to color blue, red, pink, any color we can take here. So after that we will see the example how to perform the program of inline style sheet. So traditionally we start the program HTML, head, then in head part only we have to start the style. So in head we are going to write the style. In that after style we have to write down the H1, and this H1 is nothing but your heading 1, and the color of this heading is what color you want. Color is equal to red. So next end your style. So when you are writing the inline, that should write in the head part, or that can be write in the body part. So in style H1 color red, end your style, end your head, and after that start your body part. In that body part start your H1. So in H1 the internal style sheet is applied on this heading. Why we use the H1? Because of we are assigning the style to H1 is which color we want for the H1? We want H1 as a color red. Next thing we are writing the P this paragraph will not be affected. So this is the paragraph, and by using this paragraph we are writing, but this paragraph is not taking the color of red because of we are assigning the style sheet for the H1, and H1 is having the word is, or H1 is having the string, that is the internal style sheet is apply on this heading. Next, end your paragraph, end your body, end your HTML. When you run this program, your output will be like this. This is the internal style sheet is applied on this heading, or this paragraph is not affected. So why? This is the paragraph. This paragraph we are written over here, but the color is not changed because of we use the style sheet for this element. Only for this single line, due to this paragraph not contain the affected part. So this is your inline CSS. Next one is your external style sheet. External style sheet is generally used when you change the look of entire web page site by changing just one file. When you want to change your entire look of your web page by just changing the one file, at that time you use the external style sheet. So when you want to write the program for the external style sheet, you have to write down that program into the any other where, into the notepad, or any other means you can write that program anywhere, but you have to save the program by using .css extension. Okay, so this is the basic requirement for the external style sheet. If you want to make the change on the multiple pages, it gives the facility to see the link. So here we can use the link tag on the every page. We can link the tag that should put inside the head section. So whatever the link or whatever the changes you want to assign, that should be written in the head part only. So here we are writing one example, that is the HTML head. In that head we are writing the link rel, means link relation is equal to style sheet. Type of that style sheet is equal to text, or we have to write down the reference, that is href is equal to style.css. So the style.css is the name of that particular file which is stored the desktop or any other where by using .css extension. After that, close your head, start your body, and in that body what you want to write, this is the heading. Okay, so this is your one program, but which kind, this is heading, which type of heading you want to insert, so that this heading is totally depend upon your this style.css, and your body and your HTML. So next we can see the external style sheet can be written in any text editor and must be saved with name.css extension. The external CSS file should not be contain any HTML tag, means here we can just take h1, color navy blue or navy, margin left 20 pixels. Only this is the requirement, means we can consider this part is your program. Only the one line change you have to do, that is the h1, color navy blue, margin left 20 pixels, and the output is, means we can see the output. Which file you are going to save? You have to save the file of h1, and that h1 file should have to save by using the which extension? .css extension. Then when we run this file, our output will be like this. This is the heading, but in this heading what we want? We want the color of the heading is, or h1 color should be the navy. Okay, so the navy blue color is there, so margin left 20 pixel. So this property we are inserting, only one line property we are inserting, and that store into the desktop by using the CSS extension. Link this h1 to your program. How to link? Link rel, this is the syntax for the external style sheet. Link rel is equal to style sheet, type of that text CSS, href, write down the name .css extension. When you run the program, your output will be like this. Okay, so this is the very simple method or simple program. By using that we can write the external CSS. Then the next is your internal CSS. So internal CSS is used to apply CSS on a single document or page. It can be affect all the element of the page. It is written inside the style tag within the head section of the HTML. Okay, so how to write the internal CSS? So we can see the small program, that is the first HTML head. In head section we have to write down the style. So in that style, h1 color is equal to red, and end the style in head section only. After ending the style we can end the slash head. After that we start the right body part. Now here h1, the internal style sheet, is applied on this heading. How we can write h1? Because of here we are assigned the style to where this is the selector. h1 is nothing but your selector, and this selector is the internal style sheet applied on this heading. Okay, so this part is, or the means this string or this particular string consists of the color only the red. Because of here we are taking the selector as a h1. Next is p, means this is the paragraph. This paragraph will not be affected. So this p is not included into your style sheet. Due to that, the color of your paragraph will not get a change. The color of your, means which color will get a change? Only the h1 color will get a change, because of in that style we use the h1 as a selector. If we use the p color red, then your this paragraph will not be affected. That color will change and that color will be the red. Getting? So this is the inline CSS, sorry, this is the internal CSS. So internal CSS is always written in the head part. So whatever the selector you want to assign, so that can be written into the head section. After that end your style, end your head. After that start to body part. In that body part the internal style sheet is applied on the this heading. So this part will get affected. P, this part or this paragraph will not be affected. So end your p, end your body, end your HTML. When you run this program, your output will be like this. So the internal style sheet is applied on this page. Okay, and the next whatever we are written, that should be the, means that should not be affected, whatever the paragraph over there. So in this way we can see how the HTML5 support multiple inputs for the new inputs or for the form inputs. So in this way we can see the, means whatever the new properties of HTML5. So remaining part will be covered in the next lecture. Thank you.